Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from ICM. It is molded in 1/35 scale, it copies World War II British truck, it's a W.O.T.8, and as you remember before it was W.O.T.6, so now we have a newer version, I would say. Thank you for the first like, by the way. So this is a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you see in this video, and we are going to open it and check closer what is hidden inside. So first of all, we have quite nice box art on this box. Good morning, Nikki. Box size, I would say, is typical. It's the same size as previous W.O.T.6 kit, so here you can see comparison with my hand. Also on this side we have some information about the kit. It's written black on black or dark, so it's not that cool, I would say, but there are 235 plastic parts inside. Excuse me. And then here we have also one of the marking options which are included into this kit. That's actually the same one as what we see on the box art. So just to prove it, here is once again you can see the box art. Let's open this box. The box structure, I would say, is typical for ICM. So we have a color printed top cover. Here it is. It is quite thin, as you can see, so it doesn't provide any protection. What protects the box or the plastic parts is this box. It is made out of thick cardboard, white cardboard, and if we open it, here is what we have inside. So as you can see, all frames are packed into the same plastic bag, and I mean, that's more or less tight fit, so I would check everything before the purchase. I mean, especially if you have such a possibility, that's the best thing you can do. So what do we have here? All plastic frames are packed here into this single plastic bag. That's a reopenable plastic bag, so we are going to open it without any possible complications, and we are going to check all those parts one by one. So first of all, we have two absolutely identical plastic frames. Here they are. These are dedicated to wheel rims, and as you can see, wheel rims are molded as separate pieces, so basically you can paint them and weather them separately and then just join them with tires. And tires are the next ones. Well, as you can guess, they are vinyl parts, so here they are. They come in the separate plastic bag, and there are 5 of them because we have the spare wheel as well. So I'm going to show you only one part because these are absolutely identical plastic parts or vinyl parts. Let's try to focus the camera on this part. So here you can see the tire. Of course, we do not have any detailing on the sidewall, which is not that cool, I would say, especially in 1/35 scale. In 2019, I would prefer to see some detailing on the walls, but I hope that some aftermarket manufacturers will release at least resin upgrade for this area, and we will get a better detailing in this kit. Next we have this plastic bag. This one is dedicated to PE thread. It's unpainted PE thread, so just give me a second to open it. Okay, so we are going to remove it. Just like in previous kit, this one will be used for the meshes on the truck. So as you can see, this is not pre-painted PE thread, so you will be free to cover it with any paint you would like to. And this is quite thin PE thread. I'm trying to pick it up in order to show you the thickness. So here is the thickness, and again, those are the parts. Okay. Next we have another separate plastic bag. This one is dedicated to clear plastic parts. So again, just give me a second to open it. Yeah, for ICM, PE thread is quite unusual, I would say, so it is a nice surprise in my opinion. Here we have clear parts. Obviously these ones will be used for the glasses on the front cap. Molding quality looks great, but masks are not included, so you have to find them by your own, or maybe to cut them with your own hands and tools. It will be up to you how you mask all this stuff. Next we start with spruce, gray plastic spruce, so here it is. Let's zoom out a bit. What do we have here? Here we have various panels for the front cap. For example, that's a roof panel, that's a rear panel, front panel. Also we have some parts for the rear section, wheel arches here. Those are side panels with separate doors, as you can see, and that's a bar for the main frame. Molding quality looks quite fine. I mean, note that the attachment points are thin enough in order to easily separate all this stuff from the frame. Here you can see everything from the other side. Maybe it will be a bit tricky to combine all the front cap panels together, but I think it will be doable, especially if you are brave enough to start the 135 scale truck project. Next we have another frame part for the main chassis. As you can see, it is molded together with spring bars. Here we have also various panels for the rear section, also some parts for the fuel tank, and note that fuel tank is molded together with the top section. And so here you have to be careful while joining these or sanding these parts together, because otherwise you might get a really nasty the seam between those two halves. Here we have some thin parts, everything looks fine, and if you flip it over here you can see some guiding parts which will help you for easier alignment with the main chassis bar. Next we have the two absolutely identical plastic frames. So we are going to check only one because they carry the same set of parts and there is no need to check them one by one. So here we have various parts for the interior. Also we have some additional, I would say, accessories. For example, here you can see the fuel cans. Again, molding quality looks impressive, but you have to be careful, for example, with those thin frames for the rear tarp, because otherwise you might end up breaking them, and then it will be quite funny work to fix them. Some parts which are divided into two halves, for example, those fuel cans, they have those special guiding tabs, which should help you with easier alignment of those elements together. Next, what do we have next? Just give me a second. So here we have frame with tarpaulin, and as you can see it is given as a separate panels, and we have quite nice imitation of the fabric surface. If you would like to have something different, you have to replicate it with your own tools, but in my opinion this is more than enough for out of the box build, so this is a completely fine thing to have out of the box. Next we have last gray plastic sprue. This one is the biggest one in this kit. So here we have mix of various parts for internal and external detailing. We have engine parts, so this kit in 135 scale it gets out of the box engine, which is really cool because not that many manufacturers really bother with such bonuses, I would say. Steering wheel here. Also we have separate doors so you can open the interior. It might be handy for some diorama ideas in 135 scale. And small reminder that there are no figurines included into this kit, but you can get them separately as a ICM kit. As far as I remember, they have the special kit available. Next we have assembly manual, but also there is a minor bonus which we forgot about, is this decals sheet. So as you can see, all necessary symbols fit onto the small decals sheet, and printing quality looks really nice. I hope it will be easy to apply all those symbols on your model, but I do not have any complaints about the quality of this decals sheet. Okay, so we start with assembly manual. This one is printed in typical ICM format, so we have color printed brochure, we have short history note in Russian and English, also technical specifications, safety advices and colors chart. Then we flip over the page and here we have the parts map. Note how many parts won't be used. For example, these fuel cans won't be used, so you can store them in your spare parts box. I wouldn't say it's over engineered because some parts are used for the different versions, so it's not that like all the parts will be used for the W.O.T.8. And you can see, for example, here how many parts won't be used, they're marked with red. But yes, maybe some modelers will be not that happy with assembling, for example, some parts like these ones out of two halves and then joining some minor bits here in order to assemble the drivetrain of this truck. But in my opinion it has its own beauty because you get the better detail in 135 scale, and even though assembled track won't be huge in size, still you get really fine attention to smallest details out of the box without paying any extra for some resin parts or anything else, I would say. Here we attach the exhaust system and also spring bars, drivetrain and wheel axle. Next we continue with various levers for the suspension. Here we have the wheels assembly, so as you remember we have separate wheel rims, you can paint them and then install into these vinyl parts. Then we continue with installation of wheels on the wheel axles. Here we have the wheel arches and the engine radiator. Then all this stuff gets installed on the front section. Here we have the engine radiator. Next we continue with various pipings which are installed from the bottom part, and here we install various panels. Actually it will be interesting to place this vehicle on the mirror stand because there is a lot of detailing on the suspension and engine, so it's worth showing it on the finished kit and maybe spending some time on weathering and painting all this stuff. Here we assemble the driver and passenger seats. Here you assemble the glasses with the front panel. Those are side panels, as you remember doors are separate here. So here we have doors assembly, and note that even handles are replicated with separate parts, which is really cool in my opinion because in 1/35 scale it will be noticeable, and especially if you plan to open one of the doors, it's really crucial to have it replicated. Next we come to the funny part, because as you remember the radiator mesh, it is replicated with PE parts, so you have to bend it slightly in order to have the right angle. Be ready for this. Excuse me, I'm still kinda ill. Nevertheless, here we continue with fuel tank. As you can see, this one is assembled out of several parts, and that's really funny sub-assembly, I would say. It is placed behind the front cap, obviously. Then we also install the spare wheel holder here behind the front cap as well. Next we continue with rear truck section, and here we will have to assemble the wheel well panels, which are assembled out of separate pieces, also some storage boxes. And then we install various minor accessories like side view mirrors. Also we have choice between the front lamps or headlamps. Then we continue with screen wipers, various bars, front bars, which are installed in the front of the truck cap. Then we continue with these special frames for the tarpaulin, and note that these long bars you have to cut them with your own no, it's actually the part D5, but you have to cut it to trim it in order to have the right length, so be sure to cut it in the right length. Nevertheless, you have two assembly options, so you can assemble the open truck and you can also build the closed truck, which might be easier for some of you, and still it would look interesting in the finished state. And here we have two marking options, so only two marking options included. This one copies the Czech Armored Brigade, Germany, Spring 1945, and this one copies the truck from France, Summer 1944. It is a US marking option. So yeah, it's not the post-war versions. I would say that the last years of the war, World War II, they were supplied with trucks with side view mirrors like this. So maybe it will be interesting to see more marking options for this truck, because two are definitely not enough for out of the box choice, I would say. That's really surprising that ICM decided to include only two marking options. But still we get a really nice plastic out of the box, and I'm not sure what can be changed here. Maybe you can replace wheels with more convincing resin replacement, but it's pretty much all I can think of. Of course you need masks, but that's like the basic stuff you should have for the build. And I would be happy to hear your opinion about such kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, because it will help us greatly, and of course you will show the support for us. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining and watching me today. Bye.